Traveling is very possible, okay? Traveling is very possible, and you don't need to be a millionaire to travel. You can travel from as little as 350 or 100 rand or 50 rands. Any amount that you have, as long as you save it consistently, you can travel anywhere you'd like to go. I'm not lying, and this video is going to prove that. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? Are you guys doing well? Happy New Year. I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic. Okay, I'm happy. I'm super happy to be filming this video for y'all. So first things first, welcome back to my channel. For all those who don't know me, my name is Diana. You guys can call me D in the comments, okay? And you can find me on Instagram at Diana shatilwedenise. I'll make sure I add my handle in the description box. Please, I'm so sorry. As you can see, the ring lights, they reflect in my glasses. Unfortunately, I'm so short-sighted, so I need to have them on just so that I can observe the lighting and all of that. But I think I can take them off now. Maybe I should just be honest and say they are so pretty, that's why I don't want to remove them. Plus they're new, so that also counts. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Welcome back. All right, please, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I promise you it's a great channel here. All right, we enjoy here, we talk here, we laugh here, we travel here, most importantly we live here. So thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for joining. I really hope you will enjoy this video. So this video, a couple of y'all asked me to share traveling tips with y'all on Instagram, right? So first things first, I must say, guys, I'm sorry, I'm gonna put my glasses back on because it seems like the lighting went a little bit down. So first things first, traveling is very possible, okay? Traveling is very possible, and you don't need to be a millionaire to travel. You can travel from as little as 350 or 100 rand or 50 rands. Any amount that you have, as long as you save it consistently, you can travel anywhere you'd like to go. I'm not lying, and this video is going to prove that. So I've traveled, right? I must say I'm not employed currently, all right? I'm a student right now. I'm not working, but soon I'll be working. So all the trips that I've taken, I wasn't working, all right? I was a student. I was in varsity. If you don't believe me, there's a video that I filmed before this one about my varsity experience. Go check it out. All right. So my friend and I, we decided in 2018. Yeah, 2018, my friend came to me and she's like, girl, a couple of my friends and I, so like her other friends, they wanted to go to Mozambique. So she's like to me, would you like to go to Mozambique with us? I was like, yes, of course. I would love to go to Mozambique. Mind you, by that time, I had only traveled to Gauteng, Durban. I had been to Durban. And where else did I go? Yeah, around Limpopo plus Durban and Gauteng. So those are the only places or provinces that I knew at that time. So, and here she is coming with a trip outside of the country. I was like, you, please count me in. I do want to go. So what happened was, cool. Everything went well. I mean, nothing went well. Sorry, did I say everything went well? Nothing went well. All right. So fine. They told me it's Mozambique, and they told me we're gonna need to save every single month for the trip. All right. I was cool with saving as long as it was nothing that would break the bank or break the little money that I was getting from my parents, like my allowance. As long as I knew that after paying or saving up for a trip, I have money left for me to buy groceries and do everything that I needed to do. All right. So fine. The girls chickened out. All right. We planned the trip. The trip was unsuccessful because people, when it's time to pay, they won't want to pay. So first tip, find reliable people to travel with. This is if you want to travel with a group of people or you want to travel with someone or whatever. If you're not traveling on your own, if you don't want to go on a solo vacation, find reliable people to travel with. This is very important. People get excited when you tell them, oh, let's go to Cape Town. But when you speak about money, people disappear and they start giving you excuses. Unfortunately, I can't go. And it's not excuses. I understand that we've got different priorities. It's okay. Don't get yourself involved if you know that you will not be able to travel. All right, cool. So now I'm going to tell you guys about my trip to Durban with my friend. So my friend was like, okay, cool. Because we didn't go to Mozambique in 2019, let's go to Durban, just the two of us, since we're the only two reliable people from the previous group. So we decided to go to Durban. Mind you, we didn't calculate anything. We didn't know anything about the finances. We just said we're going to save this amount of money and we'll see what this amount of money can get us in Durban. But we are going to Durban. So we just knew that the amount of money that we had is going to get us to Durban. We don't care if it's going to take us 2 years to go to Durban, but we are going to Durban, right? So we saved 350 rands every single month. I have my phone here with me. I'm going to do the calculations for you if you don't believe me. All right. So 350 multiplied by 2 people, that is 700 rand in a month. So we had 700 rand multiplied by 12. I think we went, did we go? It was multiplied by 12 or multiplied by 11. Let me see. Multiplied by 11. Yes, it was 7.7. So in total, in November, at the end of the year, we had 7,700 rands to go to Durban. All right, guys, there's flights, there's accommodation, there's food, and there's activities and like just money to get around, transportation while you are in Durban, right? So cool. Luckily for us, my friend's sister was a travel agent, so she worked with a travel agency. She said, okay, fine, I'll do everything for you guys, but you guys will pay. So we actually worked with the agency. All right, so we paid. First tip, if you can do your calculations on your own and you can find a place on your own, basically have your itinerary set up by yourself, don't go to a travel agent or travel agency. Do it yourself, because with a travel agency, there's extra cost that you will need to pay for their service, obviously. But if you do it yourself, then you don't have to pay that. So our accommodation was 4,000 already from that 7,000 rands, right? Our accommodation was 4,000 rands. It was for I think it was 3 nights, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it was 3 nights, and it was 4,000 rands. The accommodation did include breakfast, so at least would have breakfast in the morning, and then the only thing that we need to eat was supper, because if you have breakfast at a hotel, it's a lot. It's a buffet, so it's a lot. It holds you up until like the early hours of the evening. So if we had booked by ourselves, we would have had like 1,000 rand discount for accommodation. That is why I say, if you can do the work by yourself, do it by yourself, and don't go to a travel agency, because they will charge you extra 1,000 rands for their service and for all the things that they did for you. Guys, I'm sorry, you're sitting up at Tzaneen, it's not easy. So fine, everything was sorted. We paid 4,000 rand for our accommodation. We had 3.7 rand left, right? That money, the 3.7, 700 rand went to bus tickets. Okay, so we didn't fly. So initially the plan was to fly, but we were supposed to fly, right, and then go stay at my friend's brother's place, because he lived in Durban, and he said, it's fine, you guys can come to my place so that you save on accommodation. The money that you spend on accommodation, you can put that money somewhere else. So imagine 4,000 rand, you could have put it somewhere else. Unfortunately, by the time we went to Durban, he moved from that apartment that he was staying into a bachelor apartment, and that apartment is quite small. It wasn't gonna be a proper apartment for the 3 of us, because we are girls, he's a man, privacy, all those things. The space very small. Also, it was very far, like far from the CBD of Durban, so far from town, and most of the things that we needed to do were in town, or rather close to town. So there was no way we could travel all the way from that side to town. It was going to cost us a lot, so we had to pay for accommodation using that money. So we couldn't fly, unfortunately. We took a bus. So we used city to city to travel to Durban. That's my other tip. If you are traveling, it's okay if you can't use a flight, okay? It's okay if you can't use the airplane. It's okay. Find another mode of transportation. If it's road, a bus, it's okay. You get to your destination. Unfortunately, you get there really, really tired, but it's okay. We took a bus at 7 7 p.m. I forgot on which day it was, and we went to Durban. We got to Durban around 5 a.m. in the morning. Right, when we got there, we stayed at the bus station up until I think 7 a.m. so that we could go for breakfast, and then check-in was like at 2. Fine, everything was okay, everything went well. All right, we got there, we checked in. Before checking in, we went to have breakfast, right? And then after going to have breakfast, we checked in at the hotel. My other tip, have your budget. Guys, my friend and I, literally, when we left Pretoria, we had our budget. We wrote down everything that we were gonna do when we got to Durban, including the breakfast from the bus station. We indicated that we were gonna have breakfast, and the budget for the breakfast was 150. I'll never ever forget. The budget was 150, meaning Minanai, we're supposed to spend like 60 rand on breakfast. I even had water, I think, that day. And then my bill was like, I forgot how much, but altogether it was 150. Transport, we indicated the amount of transport, amount we were willing to spend on transport to get to the hotel. So another tip based on that, find an Uber driver that you trust, a reliable Uber driver. Let that person be your driver for your entire stay. That will help you a lot. So we found Tzaneen. Tzaneen is the guy who used to take us wherever we needed to go and everything like that. And he would give us discounts. So if, for example, our trip on the app is 350, we'll pay 300 rands. You see? So find a reliable Uber driver to take you around. If you can get a car for your trip, get a car. It's convenient. Trust me, it's super convenient, especially if your budget is wide open. Get a car. You're not limited in any way. All right, so there was accommodation, there was transportation. For the activities as well, we also had a budget which we had to stick to. All right, we went to the beach. When we went to the beach, we had like a cute little picnic. There was also a budget because buying that food was part of our budget, right? We went to places like Tzaneen. So if you want to go to Groove, this also applies to people who are traveling maybe to Cape Town. If you want to go to like the Kasi, so the rural side, right, in the city, take a taxi in the early hours of the evening. So around 5, take a taxi to the place, and then to come back, use an Uber, because normally these places are super far from town. So if you take a taxi, that means you spend like 20 rands. Whereas if you take an Uber, you spend 200 rand to go, 200 rand to come back. That's 400 rand. So my friend and I were very smart. We took a taxi to go to Tzaneen. Coming back, we paid an Uber. I think it was around 200 and something. Already, that's included in our transportation cost. Very important. Use taxis. Use the buses that are there. Make use of these things. Then only when you're going far, where these buses or these taxis don't get there, or if maybe it's late, you can use an Uber because it's safer, right? Cool. Another tip that I can give you when it came to like our trip to Durban is stick to your budget, guys. Stick to your budget. If your budget indicated that you're going to spend 500 rands on transport, maybe for 2 nights, stick to that budget. That's why I say if you must take a bus or a taxi or a train, do so. It saves you. So when we went to Durban, we went to Tzaneen, we went to the beach, we went to Ushaka Marine World. That's where we also paid. So we had that in our budget. So there's really, with Durban, the one main tip that I can give you is to save and stick to the budget. Stick to the budget. Have your save, have your budget, stick to your budget. You can travel with as little as 200 rands. If you have 200 rands, save. You go. It's just that you won't be able to do so many activities, or you might not stay for so many nights because 200 rand is not that much. But don't think that just because you don't have 1,000,000 rands in your bank, you can't travel. You can. You can. It's just that you might go for a day, or it might take you 2 years to save for that trip, but eventually it's going to happen. All right? Money must not restrict you in any way. Just think smart and use your money in a very smart way. You will travel. Next trip was my trip to Cape Town. Before my trip to Cape Town, I traveled locally. I live in Limpopo, right? So I wanted to go to Tzaneen with my friends, and accommodation was 300. A cabin, right, was 700 rand for the night. So we were four. The four of us took out 350 each for accommodation, guys. 350. And then I think I spent 600 rand on food when we would go out for dinner, because it was just one night. We would go out for dinner. The one time when we went to a park, I'll insert clips here. We spent like maybe 100 rand on food and like 30 rand on entrance, and had like a cute little picnic. So it's just a matter of saving money, having a budget, and following that budget. That's all. It's not complicated. It's possible. If I can do it as a student who's not working, who's dependent on an allowance from a parent, or who's dependent on an allowance from a bursary, if I can do it, so can you. It's not hard. Trust me. You can go to Dubai. Maybe you might not go to Dubai this year, but you might go next year. And if you can save more than me, then do it. Some people have like salaries. They can save a lot and travel. Do it. Just as long as you save, find where you're going, research. And another tip that I'm going to give you guys, book your accommodation early. Book your flight tickets and your bus tickets early. We live in a world, or in its time of technology. All these things are available to you on the net early. Do them early because it's cheaper. The earlier you do it, it's cheaper. For example, when I went now, coming to my Cape Town trip, when we paid for our flights cost us I think 3.5 going and coming back for the both of us. But if you book a week before you're supposed to go, you're gonna spend 3.5 just to go, or just to go and come back for one person, meaning twice what I spent is what you would spend if you do it at short notice. Always book early, even though you're not sure of the dates. As long as you know that around this time I won't be at school, book. If there's something that comes up, Bangani or whatever, you can tell them I'm going to Cape Town, I won't be able to join you, and you join them when you come back. All right. So yeah, now Tzaneen, that's also a matter of a budget. All in all, I spent 1K on my trip to Tzaneen just for a night, and I don't regret it. I will do it over and over and over again. Now my next trip was Cape Town trip, guys. I hope as I'm sharing this, you're getting a little bit of like tips. I know it's more of like a story time and more of like a breakdown of finances and costs, but in that I'm trying to give you a little bit of tips that you can follow. Cape Town, guess how many years it took us to save to go to Cape Town? Guess. I'll give you a moment. 2 years. Remember, we went to Durban, me and this friend went to Durban in 2019. We went to Cape Town in 2021. 2 years later. The plan was to go the following year, but we went 2 years later because of COVID, and also because budget wise we were not ready for Cape Town. Cape Town is quite expensive. So coming to Cape Town, first things first tip, save. Okay, if you can save 300 rand, it's okay. Save 300 rand. Okay, you might go after 2 years or after 3 years, depending on how many days you would like to stay there, but eventually you will go, like I've already said. We went to Cape Town. We saved 400 rand every single month, meaning we had 800 rand every single month. All right, every single month, sorry, we had 800 rand. Sorry, let me just quickly calculate. In a year, so in that particular year, we had 9,600 rand for 2020, right? Because we couldn't go because of COVID. We had 9,600 rand in our account, savings account. I'll come to something about accounts now shortly. And then in the next year, 2021, I was done with school. I decided I can't save 400 rand anymore, because now I'm at home. I don't have an allowance coming in anymore. I can't afford to pay 400 rand. Can we reduce it a little bit? My friend was like 350. We paid 350. That's 700 rand, right? 700 rand multiplied by 11. That's 7.7 again, like the first one. So 7.7 plus 9,600 rand. In total, we're at 17,300 rand, which we saved in 2 years to go to Cape Town. All right, great. Sorry, yeah, cool stuff. So accounts, before I continue with my Cape Town trip, right? Find an account, a reliable account, and find a reliable person, a treasurer basically, somebody who's trustworthy when it comes to money, because people will run away with your money. You'll find somebody who will say, I'll hold the money. When they hold the money, they use the money every single month. They're like, I'll put it back, I'll put it back. There are people who will put it back. There are people who won't put it back. That will inconvenience you when you need to travel, because that person will think, I'll have the money by December, only to find out that things don't always go according to plan. In December, you don't have the money. So make sure that the person that is in charge of the money is trustworthy. When we went to Durban, I was the treasurer. I used to save the money using PEP. This is important for those of you who would like to travel and you don't want to spend lots of money on interest, right? Go to PEP. At PEP, they've got a PEP account where you save money. So you go to the PEP store. If you want to add 100 Rand into that account, you give them 100 Rand. They give you a token. You take that token. There's a code that you use. You dial that code on your phone. You enter the token, and then the 100 Rand will go into your account, right? It will stay as it is. So if you've saved 10,000 Rand, you'll get it as 10,000 Rand. Nothing is deducted. The only 120 Rand for when you open the account. That 20 Rand also remains when you then go and take out your money, but withdraw your money. But unfortunately, you can only withdraw your money with APSA ATMs. That's where you can only withdraw your money. And I've seen that some of the cards, like the cards that people are using now, you can withdraw money in shops like Checkers, supermarkets. With mine, I could only withdraw at APSA. And guys, it was challenging because the limit for that card was 1.4, meaning I couldn't withdraw a whole 7,000 when I needed it. I had to withdraw it days. It wasn't easy. All right, first tip, I told you, make sure that you book early, right? Yes, secure your accommodation and your flight early. And also the account, make sure that you find a bank that you like, bank that it's affordable. If it's PEP, like I'm telling you guys, go to PEP. But unfortunately, the disadvantages of the card, as much as you won't pay charges, disadvantage is that you can only withdraw at APSA. Meaning if you need money, you're not next to APSA, you're going to have to go to a place where there's APSA to withdraw the money. Another disadvantage, if something happens to your card, you forget your PIN, or anything happens to your card, it's a long process to get another card, because they will not assist you at the bank. They will also not assist you at PEP. You need to call APSA directly, and then it's a process. They'll block your card, then you must go back to the shop and get a new card and a new PIN. I didn't know this, but I know it now, and I'm telling this to anyone who wishes to take this route. Make sure that you keep your PIN safe. You know your PIN at all times. Make sure that you don't mess up your card, because if you mess up your card, it's a process. If you ever mess up your card and you need the number to call, let me know. I will send it to you. Okay, I still have it on my phone. And then now when it was time to go to Cape Town, we were banking with Capitec Bank. All right, it wasn't bad. Capitec Bank, as you all know, is quite cheap as well. And because we're not withdrawing money every single month, we're just putting money in. We're not taking out any money. There's in a lot of charges, right? Now my friend was responsible for this one. The money came out exactly as it was, the total that we had been saving all the time. So that's my tip. Find the correct bank, find a trustworthy person, right? A reliable treasurer to hold your money. All right. Now we had 17,300 Rand. All right. We booked our accommodation early. Now we were there for 5 nights. Guys, now there isn't a budget like there was in Durban. In Durban, we literally had a list that we wrote before we left, like for budget that we allocated to the meal per day, to transport per day. We even had Uber. We calculated transport, like the trips, how much it would cost us to move from one place to another. But by the time we went to Cape Town, we didn't do that. We didn't do that. We just said the change is what we have. We're gonna use it. There was no budget. If I wanted to order 3 burgers, I could order 3 burgers, because if bank so okay, cool. We booked accommodation. We stayed at Stay Easy Hotel. Stay Easy City Bowl Hotel. It was in the CBD of Cape Town. Sorry, I forgot to mention we stayed at. Forgot the hotel that we stayed at in Durban, but I'll make sure I add the hotel Ushaka Marine, the activities that we got up to in the description box. So accommodation was 6,000 rands. I think it was 6.7 when we paid. We paid around August, if I'm not mistaken. Then my friend and I met up for lunch maybe a month later, and we noticed that there's a discount on booking.com. Now that is the website that you can use for accommodation, a trustworthy website. we noticed that there's a 2,000 discount. We took it, we canceled the other one, free cancellation. Perfect, the money was sent back into our account. We then booked using booking.com again, and we got it for 4 I think it was 4.8, 4.4, somewhere there. There was our accommodation for 5 nights at the same hotel. So my other tip, constantly check on the app. If it's booking.com, whatever app it is, constantly look for discounts. If there are discounts that you find, cancel the other one, it's free cancellation. Take the other one that is cheaper. That means you have 2,000 rand back in your account, which you can use on other things, right? We then paid for our flight tickets. We used Lyft airline. Our flight tickets were like 3.5, somewhere there all together, or 3,000, somewhere there all together. So already you can see how much did we take from 17.3. We took 4.5, let me just say 4.5, and we took about 3,000. So 7.5 was gone, meaning we had about 9 point something left, right? Accommodation is paid, flights are paid, basically the needs of the trip are covered. Then the rest of the money, we went quad biking. We used it for quad biking. It was 900 rand I think per person. We went go-karting. That was like, I forgot how much there was. I'll add the prices in the description. We went clubbing a lot of times. We went to Rennes. So we lived in town, we went to Rennes. We took an Uber to come back only, but to go we used a taxi, like I said. And then we went to the beach. We enjoyed ourselves in Cape Town. We went to Table Mountain. We didn't have a budget to follow because the money was there, the money was enough. So you see what I mean. Save, and if your budget is tight, stick to it. If your budget is not tight, don't stick to it, because then you can do whatever you want, but just keep checking that you're not losing money or anything like that. So that's basically it, guys. You can travel with as little as 350 to any place that you want to go to. Unfortunately, you might not travel maybe in a year's time of saving, maybe in 3 years time of saving, but eventually you will do it. What I'm trying to tell you is that it's possible to go anywhere that you'd like to go, as long as you save, and you save consistently, and you discipline yourself, because it's not easy. Some months you can be like, no, I won't save, I'll save next month. Now next month you must take out double. That's almost a K that you must take out. I wouldn't advise. That's another tip. Stick to the plan. If you are saving, make sure that every single month you take out the money. It's painful, guys. It was painful for me, because at the same time I wanted to buy a new phone to enhance the quality of my videos, right? At the same time, you need clothes for your travel. You need clothes, you need to do your hair, you need to do your nails, you need to do your lashes. Maintenance, that's already like 2,000 rands gone on just your hair, your nails, your lashes, and all those things. So my advice to you, save consistently every month, because if you miss 3 months, then that next 3 months you're saving like 1.5. That's a lot of money. It takes you out of budget in terms of other things. So stick to the plan, save consistently. It might be hard, it's not easy taking out 350, whereas you could take the 350 and go out with your friends. Ask how many friends I saw last year. Couldn't even see my friends because I was saving for a trip. This year, thankfully, I'm not saving for one yet, but I am definitely going on one. Not sure when, but I'm not saving for one because I'm lucky, fortunate this year. Not to say that I'm not paying, but I'm not saving for one like the way I used to. This year, I just put any amount. There's no limit. I don't know if you get me. So yeah, you get what I mean. So save your money, save consistently. You will get there. For those who are struggling to save, because I've noticed that a lot of people struggle to save. A lot of people will tell you, but I need a salary to save. It's okay, I get it. You basically mean that you need money to save. I get it. But you don't need to save a lot. This is the mistake people are making. If you haven't learned the art or the principle of saving, you're doing it the wrong way. Try to save 2 rand every single day if you can. Save 2 rand every single day. You know what I'm trying to teach you, the art of saving. Because if you can save 2 rand consistently every single day, you can save 2 million consistently every single month or every single day if you are rich like that. If you can do it, if you are faithful with the little amount, you can be faithful with the big amount. If you learn the art of saving, that consistency, that discipline, if you get it right, you'll be able to save any amount. So if you're struggling with saving for whatever thing it is, try doing it with small amounts. Once you get it, once you are disciplined, you can save larger amounts. I'm telling you, you won't go wrong. Those are my tips. Save consistently, be disciplined, stick to your budget, find reliable people, find an agent. Some people don't like doing work, some people like paying for convenience. Sorry, I didn't mean it like that, but I meant to say some people like paying for convenience. I for one am that type of person. But if I can do it myself, I can do it. But if I can't do it because maybe I'm busy and I can pay for someone to do it, pay. You go anywhere that you want to go. Speaking about that, I'll link my vlogs in the description box. The Cape Town vlog, 2 of them. We also went wine tasting. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. Unfortunately, with Durban, we didn't have any. I wasn't a YouTuber by then, but I'll try and find clips if I can. I'll try and see what I can add for you guys for Durban, even if it's just pictures and stuff. I really lost most of the footage. I'll ask my friend if she still has some of the footage and I'll edit. So go and watch my Cape Town videos. Go and watch my Tzaneen vlog. It's also there. Soon I'll be touring to Mpumalanga. I'll also add that and sort of like give you like brief nyana. So if you're looking to travel this year, start finding a place, right? Find a person that you can go with. Enjoy yourselves, guys. Even if you go for a day, even if you go for a night, even if you go for 2 nights, even if it's for a weekend, if you can do that and you learn the art of doing that with what you have, then you can even go for a month. There's no limit. So you see, I didn't spend $1 million to go to Cape Town. You're a student, you're in high school, you can go anywhere you want to go. Just save. Everything will work out as long as you save. Guys, that is all from me. I'm tired of talking. Thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate it. Please give it a thumbs up. Any questions, leave them in the comments. I will answer. Anything that you'd like me to speak about that maybe you saw on my channel, you saw on my Instagram, please feel free to let me know. I will speak on it. And thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video. Please do subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Share my videos with people that you know, people that you'd like to travel with. Share this video with them. Maybe you guys will get tips, nyana, some information, nyana, and you can go wherever you want to go. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you all. Bye.